All right, welcome to the lecture 5 of Design Analysis of Algorithm course. In this particular session, we are going to see two important concepts. Actually, they are one called the discrete Fourier transform (DFT), and there is another concept we will talk about sometime. It is called the FFT. Okay, FFT. So, what are these terms? So, we will be discussing about them. What is the DFT and FFT in this particular class? So hope you have done the last class. Means how many of, can I ask a simple question that how many of you were absent in the last class? New people. Type done the last class. Means how many of, can I ask a simple question that how many of you were absent in the last class? New people. Can you type yes? Okay. How many people are yes? So everybody was there. That's great. So in the last class, what we did, we actually talked about that polynomial. Okay. So polynomial is something like we have seen that a0 plus a1x plus a2x square plus dot 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 plus an x to the power n minus 1, something like this, an expression of this particular kind. So we have seen that we can represent this using these values a1, what are their coefficient an. So we can represent in this way. Another way of representing the same thing was this, that you use n points. There is some point, say p1, and you evaluate if it is fx, then you evaluate of f at the point p1 and take another point p2 and evaluate this particular function on this p2 dot dot dot. How many points necessarily are needed? P and n points, f n minus pn. Okay, so we want these n such points for this particular function to represent this function into to perfectly represent this particular function. So when the highest power is n minus 1, we need n such points. Okay, so we have also seen in the last class that if we want to find out that how to find out this thing, so you know that the evaluation of single thing, because if you want to even find out one such pair, you have to invest how much time? Order of n time to evaluate, and that is a special method that uses a specialized method. Otherwise, it may take order of n square also. However, we know that people would not go to that particular thing. People can evaluate using a Horner's rule into the order of n time. How many points are needed to represent a one thing? N such points. So total computation to convert from the polynomial from its polynomial form to the to this point form is going to be order of n square, order of n square time. Okay. So what is the importance of this particular form is this, that when you convert these thing into this point form, then addition and subtraction, if one polynomial is a and b, two polynomials are given to you and you want to find out their addition, it's very simplified. Just term by term you find out the summation, multiplication, whatever you do, you can find out. However, we have seen that when we do the multiplication, then number of points, these many number of points doesn't suffices. We have to use more points because the multiplication is going to be of the order of n to 2n order to the it becomes to the order of 2n minus 2. Okay, highest degree term would be 2n minus 2. So more points would be needed to represent this. So this is an important task, that important thing that we can do using this thing, that very easily we can find out the multiplication. But the point is only this, that that how this conversion takes a lot of time. Only problem with this particular approach is that this multiplication takes a lot of time. You understand what I wanted to tell, that a function can very easily be represented, very effectively be represented into the point value form. And what is we mean by effective? That if you represent the function in this particular way, finding out the multiplication, summation, etc., it takes only very simplified order of n time. Order of n time, you can find out the addition and multiplication, provided if number of points are enough number, 2n number of points are given to you, if 2n number of points are given to you, then and the highest degree term is n minus 1 and 2n number of 1 points are given to you, then you can find out the multiplication. And what do I mean by multiplication? That they into the same format. So this would be another function. For example, f and g are fx and gx are multiplied, and you get some say k of x, another function. So the point value representation of that particular function can be obtained in a very effective way. Means order of n time you can find out the multiplication. Otherwise, the multiplication takes order of n square. If you want to multiply those two things, multiplication takes order of n square times after two things. So there is another method that today we are going to talk about, that is in this particular line only. So this particular actually diagram is very important. So it is a block diagram that actually talks about something. So let me just quickly tell you that what this diagram says. It says that let's assume that you have two polynomials, a0, a1, a n minus 1, b0, b1, b n minus 1. Everybody understand this? Let's assume that these are, what are these? They are coefficients. So one thing that can anybody write yes that you understand this? Because I have not seen anything on the chat. Everybody please write yes so that we can forward. Good. Okay. So I wanted to tell you this, that let's assume that you have two polynomials. This is the first polynomial, second polynomial. Okay. If you want to do the multiplication of these polynomial, you are going to invest how much time? Order of n square, because every item need to be multiplied with every other item over here. So n item multiplied by n item, and then you would be able to find out that what is the answer. The C matrix, that is actually the C polynomial that you are going to get, is going to take order of n square time. Everybody okay with this? So right, can you type okay? Okay, everybody okay with this? Yeah. I am going to today talk about a different thing. I tell you that from this representation, if you convert them into the point value representation, how many points are needed? And such points are needed. Actually 2n points are needed, because n points are needed to represent this, but if more points are there is no problem. So let's assume that every polynomial is represented in this point value format into the 2n number of points. Okay, so I'm going to convert this also, a and b both I'm going to convert into the 2n points. So it is written like here, you just see this. So a is converted into this particular line and b's are converted into this particular line. Okay, so these are the values that I'm going to get. So how much time it was needed? We have seen that a single conversion takes order of n time. 2n points are needed, so 2n multiplied by order of n, it is going to take order of n square time. Everybody is with me? Going to take order of n square time. But today we are going to see in this particular class a method that can take only n log n time. So what is that method? Forget about that. We'll discuss later. But let's assume that I give you something in order of n log n. So would you be happy? Yes or no? You would be happy? No? Okay. So if I want, and since our target was to multiply these two numbers, so if you want to multiply them, here the pairwise multiplication is very fast. You know that if things are into the point value representation, then you can multiply them into order of n time. So into the order of n time, you can find out the multiplication of the thing. Okay. So the answer that actually you wanted to find out, but it's point value representation, you can find in total order of n log n time. Order of n time plus order of n log n time. Then you can do the interpolation. We have seen that in the last class, that Gaussian interpolation, that given these point value representation, how can we represent? We have also seen that in the last class, that Gaussian interpolation was also taking order of n square time. But in this class, we are going to tell you that using the same mechanism that we are using here, we can do this interpolation also in order of log n time. So if I can do it, so you can by yourself can think that overall, that instead of direct multiplication, now we are going to talk about a technique that can short circuit. Means Instead of spending order of n square here, we are going to have a different root. In this root, we are going to spend order of n log n plus order of n plus order of n log n time, and overall it is order of n log n time. So everybody is happy with that? Should we start? So this is what actually we want to talk about today. Okay. So let me just quickly talk about one more important term that is here, that there is someone called Fourier. So he was very strange person in our domain. Okay, in the mathematical domain, he was supposed to be very strange person. So what he proposed, whatever he had proposed, the very big mathematical peoples were there, but they were not able to approve it. That what he is telling means, what he told, that you bring any function. For example, if I bring, for example, this is a function. He told that you bring any function. So what is the equation? I don't know, but he told that I can write just a summation of sine theta and cos theta terms, and I can represent this particular function. Any function you can bring it to me. I can represent using only sin x and cos x. Hold on, there is one caveat. He told that any function that is actually that is periodic, means what? That for example, if the function is this, then after some time it is going to make the same thing. Okay, a periodic function. If you give me any periodic function, Fourier was telling that if you give me any periodic function, I can convert them. I can only use sine and cos, and I can give you the exact representation of that particular function. Okay, so everybody was surprised that how can he do it, because if I give you any, because function could be any kind, infinite kind of functions are possible, but he was telling that I would use only sine and cos, and I can represent all these kind of functions. Okay, very strange kind of concept. So but people were thinking that okay, you cannot convert this function because this function is not periodic. But then Fourier came, he told that okay, if you think that this if you are bringing this particular function to me, then I would assume that after the time when you are not measuring, it is repeating. Means he essentially brought a concept that every function is now, every function is a periodic function. So this was his idea. So the Fourier therefore is a very important person, and a lot of applications are there into signal processing and other places. So to understand this from our perspective, we also need to have your I also need to test your understanding of the complex numbers. So everybody is ready. You know that there is something called e to the power I theta is equal to cos theta plus I sin theta. Everybody knows. Okay, everybody knows this. Yes or no? Okay, from the 12th class. And where you know that nth root of unity. What is the nth root of unity? Nth root of unity is called as Wn, nth root of unity. It is written as e to the power minus 2 pi, sorry, not minus, e to the power 2 pi upon ni. Okay, this particular value is called the nth root of unity. So and when nth root means how many roots of unity are there, so you can find out how many roots you wish, 3, 4, 5, 10, 50, whatever number of roots you can find out. So if I want to find out 50 roots, one I know that one is the one, because if you raise that power, you would be able to find out that 1 to the power 45 is going to be 1. But what are the other ones? So to find out the other ones, you say that there is a number that is n. You can think it's not n. You can say that k. Let's assume that you want to k is equal to 0th one, first one, second one, dot dot dot, n minus 1th. Okay, how many such values are there? N values. Okay, these are the n values. What is the n? Which particular root you want? How many cube root? For example, if you want the cube root of unity, you know that e to the power 2 pi upon 3i. This is the value. Okay, so you put the value to the 0, and e to the power 2 pi upon 3i to the power 1, e to the power 2 pi by 3i to the power 2. So these are the three roots for the cube roots. So this one everybody knows that first one is always 1. What is the second one? You can use this particular formula. So let me quickly remove this particular part, and then you can use this particular formula, and you can tell that cos theta plus I sin theta. Everybody is okay with me that it is going to be cos of what? Theta, 2 pi by 3 plus I sin 2 pi by 3. So can you tell me what is the value of cos 2 pi by 3 and I sin 2 by 3? So I leave it on you. You can find out that what are these values. Everybody knows that. So I will not go into that particular detail. For our discussion, what is important that in this way cube root you have discovered. Nth root if you want to discover, we have written the equation. Okay. If you want to find out the nth root of unity, then for that the formula is e to the power, if we have just written e to the power 2 pi upon n I. Okay, this is the wn, and using this wn you say that wn to the power 0, wn to the power 1, wn to the power 2, dot 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 w, it's not w omega n. Okay, omega n to the power n minus 1, omega 1 to the power n. All these are the going to be the cube going to the nth root of unity. Any question on that? Yes, no? Mathematically everybody know this? Say yes or no. So I'm just giving the recap. Okay, so if you understand this, so everybody knows that this particular quantity, that omega dk divided by dn is, what is this value? If you want to find out this value, so it looks like that it is something that is omega dn to the power dk. It is like that. What is omega dn? Omega dn e to the power minus 2 pi I upon dn, okay, to the power dk. Okay, so if it is like so, I can write it, I can take the d inside, I can say that e to the power 2 pi I upon dn to the power d to the power k. And here you can say that since there is d and d, they can get cancelled, and you can write similarly that e to the power 2 pi I upon n to the power k. Okay, and what is this? This is the omega, this is omega n, because it, now I have simplified this, there is no dn, it is omega n to the power k, omega n to the power k. Okay, so this is what it is. Okay, similarly if you say that if you put omega n to the power n by 2, so you can also into the same way you can say that, you prove that it is omega 2, where here we assume that n is a prime, n is a divisible by 2. If n is divisible by 2, then it is omega 2, and similarly you can say that it's not e to the power 2 pi I upon n is now n to the power n by 2. Okay, so you can see that here again you can cancel out these two things, and what you get, e to the power 2 pi I by 2, and this is omega 2. Okay, so omega 2 is actually minus 1. Okay, omega 2 is equal to minus 1. How can you find out? You put this value here, you put this value into this particular equation, you can find out the value is going to be minus 1. Am I right? Yes, say yes. Okay, so we are doing a lot of mathematics today. Next thing is this, that this is a very important result, that is called the halving lemma. And what is the halving lemma? It says that omega n to the power k plus n by 2 to the power 2. Okay, so you by yourself can see that there are two terms, omega n to the power k, omega n to the power n by 2, and you are actually taking the square of these two terms, okay, individually. And this term we have just talked about, this term is here, you have just talked about, is minus 1. So essentially you get the only this particular part, it is written like this only. Okay, So this is a very interesting result, and let me tell you that right now I need you to explain this. Actually, this is a very important thing. It says that, as I told you, that if you want to find out the nth root, so there is something called Wn. So you start by the W0, W1, W2, dot 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 dot. What is the last one? Wn and Wn minus one. Okay, what I written here, I'm sorry for that. Actually, it is Wn to the power 0, Wn to the power n, Wn to the power 2, dot 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 dot, Wn to the power n minus 1. Am I right? So these are the actually my roots. But what this is going to say, that if you take the square of the half of the thing square, if you take the k, you see that k and k plus half means this item and after the item after the half one. Okay, this one and the next item after half, two and next item after half. So there is a relationship. This particular thing says that there is a relationship. And what is that relationship? That if you find out the square of these things, they are going to be same. Square of this particular item and square of this item is going to be the same, but they are different. How come it is possible? It is only possible if when the second item is actually negative. So this item is actually negative of the first, W and 0, negative of that particular item. Okay, this is only possible that if they are negative. So that's why it's very important result. So all of you would agree with me that if I find out these items, then immediately I can find out that what these items are. Can you say yes on this? That if I can find out the half of the item, then immediately I can find out what are the other half of the items. Yes, yes. Using the half this halving lemma, we actually understand this particular part. Okay. Now again there is a important summation, and everybody, I think you are better than me, for that for j is equal to 0 to n minus 1, if I want to find out the summation of that omega n to the power k, and I am going to put the power, this j is going to be put as the power of this particular thing. So you know that what does it mean? That actually the same item having different powers from 0 to n minus 1. Understand? Any particular root, you are picking any nth n and k. Any root you are going to take, and only n thing is that n minus 1 such summation, n such summations are there. If you find out a series of those values, then since you know that this it is just a multiplication, you can say that using it is to the power n minus 1 divided by omega n by 1. Here we only assume that this k is not divisible by n. K is not divisible by n. So this division is not possible. Otherwise, what would happen? It becomes 1. Okay, then it is meaningless, because some if you want to take the Wn and raise to the power n to the power p, it is meaningless, because then they actually collapse. Okay, it becomes 1. So that's why I'm thinking that this k and n are actually, they are not dividing each other. Then this is what I'm going to get. And if you simplify it further, because they can exchange, it becomes 1, and overall the summation comes out to be 0. So this is also an important result that tells that if you pick any of the, if you pick any of the w and you raise it to the power, then you would be able to find out what you ultimately they are going to vanish. The summation is going to vanish. Okay, so this is from the complex numbers. Now let us start our game. And my game, what is my game is? My game is that I am going to tell you 3 things. What are these 3 things? What are these 3 things? First, number 1, given this number, how I find out this thing in order of n log n time. Second thing, how to multiply. Okay, this is not important because you know that how to do the multiplication. Third thing, that how given these all n values you can find out this. This is the third thing in order of n log n term. This is also not very much important because as I told that this also uses the same thing. So this part is important, that how to find out this thing in n log n time. Make sense? Make sense? Are you ready for that? Should we start? Yes? Okay. So I want to convert the coefficient from form of a polynomial. This is given to me to what? To point value form using y's. How many y's? And minus 1 y's. Okay. Essentially, as I told you a few minutes back, that I want actually 2n minus 2 number of items, but that is fine. N items is changed. The similarity we can change more also. So where yk, if I want to find out any particular item, for example, this item, so it is going to be what? It is going to be what? Okay. As I told you earlier, that if there are n values, so if this is fn, if this is fn, now please concentrate, okay? Let's assume that it is a function of x. This is the function of x. So for some value, for example, 0, 1, 2, for example, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I have to evaluate that what is these values are, na? Everybody is okay, and then these values I am going to give as an answer. Is it fine? Yes? Any questions here? What I just said? That I just said this, that if you want to convert into if you want to convert this thing to this thing, what you have to do? You have to, what is this actually, Rupo? Yes, let me not talk about this. If you want to convert this to the point value form, what you have to do? You have to, for different values, you have to find out what is the FB. Yes or no? Say yes. Okay. For what are these values? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, dot, dot, dot. These are the values. Okay. Now I am going to change something. I am telling that because you don't know that on what values you should compute all these things. Okay, you don't know that on what values you should compute it. What is the right value? What is the thing? However, any value would work for me. So why not I use a very special value, that is omega to the power n to the power 0, omega to the power n to the power 1, omega n square, omega n to the power n minus 1. If I find out that what are the values over here, everybody understand here that earlier I was using value, now right now I am telling that these values are omega n to the power 0, omega n to the power 1, and so on. Fine? Can anybody write yes? Okay, so if this is this, that I have to compute what is the f omega n to the power 0, what is the f omega n to the power 1, f omega n to the power 2, dot dot dot, f omega n to the power n minus 1. I have to find out this. These values I am going to call it y0, y1, y2, yn minus 1. Any problem with this? Yes or no? No problem, no? Very good, excellent. So this conversion, when I convert this into this particular form, in this I need not to specify that what is the value on which I have computed. But the one important thing is this, that straight away I had removed the requirement of representing these numbers, because these numbers are anyway, now I'm okay with that what these numbers are. I know that what these numbers are. I need not to again specify that what these numbers are. I only specify that what these values are, and this is what is specified here, y0 to yn minus 1. Yes? Okay. So can I clean it? Okay, let me delete it. Cut. Okay. Now let me tell you a very important definition, that this thing is called DFT of this particular expression. For a given polynomial, this thing is called its discrete Fourier transform. Okay. So yes. Okay. And this is not important. Okay. This is not important, because ultimately if you want to find out any particular value, any particular kth value, if you want to find out a kth value, then omega n to the power k, and you multiply this particular summation, because you term by term you want to multiply to find out that what is the value of that expression. It is just a computation of that function. So it is nothing, it is just a fancy way of writing the same thing, that I am finding out what these y's are. Everybody, any questions right till now? No question? No question? No question? Okay. But I have a question. And the question is, what is DFT? What is DFT? What is discrete Fourier transform of sorry of a function? What is the discrete Fourier transform of a function? You can tell that if this function has the highest degree term of the n minus 1, then I would use omega n, and I would put omega n to the power 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and minus 1, these terms, and for each of these terms I would evaluate that what is the value of that particular function, and I would put this as an array, and this particular array would be called as a DFT of that particular function. So essentially I have done this. Okay, essentially I have done this. So I was talking about this particular part, that this is I have done this. Okay, make sense? Yes. Okay, so everybody understand that this is how DFT, what is the value of DFT. If I ask you that how to find out the DFT, so the method that right now you know is actually takes how much time? Order of, can anybody write how much time it take to convert to find out this DFT? Order of n square, order of n square time it takes to convert. I am going to tell you, now concentrate, I am going to tell you another method that take order of n log n, and that method is called what? That method is called what? Can anybody type? FFT. All right, thank you. So what is FFT? FFT is a method, fast Fourier transform. The full form is fast Fourier transform. FFT is a method to find the DFT in order of n log n time. Okay, you are very much okay. So given an A, if I say that DFT of A, it is Y is DFT, we say that it is DFT, and fast Fourier transform. Now let us talk about the how to find out this. Okay, so how to find out this is very important. Okay, whatever technique we know takes order of n square. Now I am going to talk about another technique to find out this. So till now we have not discussed anything, and right now I am going to discuss a very important step. Hope all of you are going to focus on me, and let me write an expression. Okay, 2 plus 3x plus 5x square plus 9x cube 6x cube 4 plus 7x to the power 5. Let's assume I write it. So now be with me. Can I say that these are the term where x is an odd number? Okay, I take it out. I say that 2 plus 5x square plus 6x to the power 4 plus 3 plus 9x square plus 7x to the power 4. If I say that this if I say that this is an expression, I say that it is expression 0, I say that it is expression 1. So can I write expression is equal to expression 0 of x square? One minute. So can I write like this? And if I write like this, it becomes that E is equal to E0 plus E1. Can I write like this? Till now everybody is okay? Yes. Akshat, are you okay? Are you sure? Yes. I think Amay has given me the right thing. That this is x multiplied by E1 multiplied by x. Okay? Multiplied by x. Okay? Okay. So essentially, I can write that E is equal to E0 plus x into E1. And can you see one thing? That into the x1, it is a square, and here also a square. It is 4, here also it is 4. Then 6, 6, 8, 8. It is going to be like that. So can I write like this, that it is expression of 0 to the power x plus x e to the power x square to the power x square. Let me just say like that. What I wanted to tell, that I say that, and now I am going to change my functions. Okay, if you understand this part, let me change my functions. I say that instead of writing this, I am going to write a different thing. I say that E0 is equal to 2 plus 5x plus 6x square plus dot dot dot. E1 is equal to 3 plus 9x plus 7x square plus dot dot dot. What I have did, this power is now half everywhere. Okay, I am going to write that E is equal to E0 x square plus x into E1 x square. Whether this part is clear to everybody? Say how many are okay with me. Say yes. How many of you are okay with me? Yes. Let me tell you what I have did. What is the importance of this thing? How many item would be here? Half. How many item would be here? N by 2. If the first one contains an item, then these E0 and E1 are actually having half of the item, and they are of the similar nature. This expression is also of the similar nature as the E, and therefore we can again apply the divide and conquer over here, and we can ultimately find out the solution. So whenever we divide and conquer, we get an idea that there is a possibility of going to the log n. So if everybody understand this, I am near 90% done. Everybody okay? Type okay. I need 1000 okay if you are happy. Otherwise, so you are only 100 students. So if I need 1000, everybody have to type 10 times. If anybody have a problem, please let me know. Okay. Okay. If you are happy and if everybody understand that what I told you, then okay, then let me remove this thing and let me go and show you that what is written on the slide. And same was written on the slide. Okay. I told what I said, that a0 of x is equal to, if there was some expression that is not shown, actually my mistake that I have not shown that. If a was a no, you can assume this one. Okay, so if I take a0, then a2 of x, then a4 of x square, then an minus 2 of x and minus 2 plus 1, and the odd terms, okay, a1, a3, a5s are here. Okay, I can write them into two parts. Number one, you are okay, and then I can write the original expression is equal to a of x, means that particular original expression is a0 x square plus x in x time a1 x square. I can write the expression in this way. Done. Okay, somebody is asking, that how is it the same sum problem, same sub problem? No, same sum problem is not that. The point is the expression, that smaller expression that I have written, they are also polynomial now. Yes, they are also polynomial, and you can see that here x is there, x square is there, x to the power n minus 2 means consecutive expressions are there. So they are similar. Make sense, Nilesh? They are similar because everywhere x and x square similar thing. Earlier also it was x square, x to the power cube, like that, and here also it is like that. Okay, so this is what the recursive FFT, finding out way to find out the recursive FFT, and what it says that if there is a contains how many item? N minus 1 item. First you find out that what is the length, so that you can tell that what is the Wn. If n is equal to 1, if n is equal to 1, then return a, means if only one item is there, then it is only constant item. Could be na? If it is only one item, then it is a constant item. Then you need not to go ahead and proceed. You have to stop. You have to return that value, because then the no computation is needed. Otherwise, you say that a is 0, 0 and a 1. These are the two parts. First, where you are having the even 1, 2, 4 even items. Then second, where you are having the odd coefficients. And then you apply the same methodology here also, that recursively find out the FFT of a0, and whatever the value you get, you say y0, and recursively apply the FFT on a1, and you say that y1. Okay, if n is the number is given to you, then w omega n you have to find form, and omega n is equal to e to the power 2 pi I by n. You form this number. You form the omega n. You form the omega n, and omega, the first one, that omega n to the power 0 is always 1, you know that. And for k is equal to 0 to n minus 2, because you know that what is the length of this particular item? N minus n items are there. Okay, I am telling that I would only compute the things till half. This is an interesting point that I am telling. I am telling that k is equal to going from 0 to n minus 2. Please see this. For half of the item, what I am going to find out, that how to compute, because two things are computed. Okay, when you want to find out, when you want to find out this particular value, you have to use these two things, and you have to multiply by x and find out the value. So the first value, then omega, then multiplied by this from the second one. You find out, multiply, and find out what is the k's value. So this value, please try to understand this value. N values you need to find out. For first half, you are going to discover the values. This, whenever you are discovering this value, immediately you can find out this value using halving lemma that we have just few minutes back seen. Using halving lemma, the next item can be find out as a negation of that particular item. So whenever I am computing first item, the second item is just the same item, where here it was plus and here I am writing minus. So immediately same item create the second item. Only because these have the half of the item only, na? Because when I have divided them into two parts, they become of the half the size. So using half the size, I have created these two things, and then I have subtracted this. I find out this also, and then I multiply with the wk. Then it becomes omega to the power 1, then omega to the power 2, 3, 4. Every other item I'm going to construct, and all these items are also constructed. When last item is constructed, complete y value are actually given to me. Okay, so this is how very important line is this. Okay, very important line is, these two lines are very important. That tells that here is a positive and here is a negative, using halving lemma. When I am finding out these values, the other half are immediately supplied to me for free. So how much time it is needed? You see that you are calling the same thing, same algorithm with the half the item. So Tn minus 2 times half item 2 times, and this computation that building the whenever the solution for these half of the items is available, then you can just combining them to find out the complete solution. So this is actually constant multiplied by n cn, that is because you know that only half of the item you have actually done over here. So it is n by 2 into, it is order of n by 2, that is again it is no issue that it is c multiplied by n. So what is the solution for this particular recurrence relationship? It is going to be order of n log n. So you can find out the ff dft using fft in order of n log n. That's it. Make sense? We just want to show you that that y the y0 terms are actually y0 term are actually this, y1 terms are this to the k, and then because of this halving lemma you can just double it, because if you say that because they are on the half and by 2 items are there, so you can say them nth item and it becomes, this k becomes 2k. Okay, so you are computing the right items. Yk, this is the expression that was written to us. Yk is equal to yk plus omega to the power k. If you just expand it, you would be finding out that actually you are computing the right term. This with the negative also, you just see that the computation shows that actually you are actually computing the right term for the half, that is the item at the half distance away. So this is a small proof that things are correct. I suggest you that go and visit this page once again. Try to be familiar with you. Now this is the third part that we are going to come, and we have just talked about that how to find out how to do this evaluation in order of n log n time. We have now multiplication we need not to discuss because we can multiply immediately two things if we want to multiply. Now the third part comes, that how to find out reverse, means these values are given to me and I want to find out that what is the coefficient. So it is again the similar kind of problem, that when y's are given to me and I want to find out the values of a. So you know that you can represent this in this way, because you know that all y's are computed in this way, that y0 is equal to, if there is a matrix, let me call it V, Vn. So you know that what are the terms over here, that 1 w1 square w for 4 to 6 to n, then they are multiplied with these numbers, and then you are going to get your y value. So this is basically the definition of this. Y's are this is the basic definition. So essentially you know that now all these values you have computed using w's, when the w was 0, w was 1, 2, 3, 4, all these things are written over here. So if you want to reverse it, if you want to find out this, so it is actually y is equal to v into a. Okay, so if you want to find out the value of a, it is v inverse, it is v inverse into y, it becomes a. So a is equal to what? V inverse, why I'm writing transpose, y v inverse into y. Okay, this you have to find out. So essentially this is nothing but this, that actually this is what the condition is, and you want to find out the inverse of DFT. It is just finding out the inverse of the, if you find out what is the inverse of this thing, then you can definitely find out. So the very important thing is this, that this very important characteristic of this thing, that if you want to see that at any kj point, what is the entry? Kj point, if you see that what is the entry, it is w to the w omega n to the power kj. The entry is omega n to the power kj. And let me give you this thing, that if you want to find out the inverse, you need not to write anything else except that omega n kj was there at the I kj place. The inverse matrix would have the at the kj place omega n to the power minus kj. It would be minus kj divided by n. This would be the value at the into the inverse matrix. So inverse matrix, finding out the inverse matrix, immediately you can find out the inverse matrix, because the finding out the inverse with these values is direct. Okay, so you can find out immediately, find out that what is the inverse matrix. Fine. That what is the inverse of this matrix, you need not to compute, but immediately you can write this inverse of this matrix, because you know that inverse of this matrix is this, because of your construction. You have constructed this in this way, that if this matrix you are, that's why you are using this matrix, so that you can immediately, without no expense, you can find out what is the inverse. And when you know the inverse, what the problem becomes, that essentially the problem becomes that y inverse, and there is some v inverse, and there is some y is equal to a, and you want to find out the value a. Earlier, what was the problem? This was the problem, and you solve this problem using the FFT, and you were able to find out this value in order of n log n time. Okay, and now what is the problem? The problem is actually this part actually goes here. So the problem is this, that this a's thing is here, and now the inverse of this v inverse is here, and then y is here. Again the same kind of problem. So same methodology again you can implement, and you can find out that what is the and find out the what is the value of a's in how much time, order of n log n time. Hope I'm able to convince you. If you don't have any, if you have any questions, please let me know. Once again let me tell you, to make it very clear, and that's very straightforward. Let me tell you what I am telling. I am telling that you computed y's, which are essentially this, that given is, because you know that there is predefined values that with whom you are multiplying, and you are getting the y's. Okay, if you find out the inverse of this particular quantity, that is vn inverse, and if you multiply that thing with the y, because now you have y's are available, then you can find out values of a. Okay, using the same methodology that you have applied over here, recursive methodology. Okay, so this is the method to find out the inverse of DFT. So it also, this method also take order of n log n time. Okay, and this is the very simplified. If you want to find out, there is a small proof into the book that says that how to prove that actually it is the right solution. So the proof goes in this way, that actually this actually computes that what is the value of vn inverse into vn inverse we have computed in this way, vn inverse, and we know that what is the value of vn in this particular formula. Then you try to find out what is the item that is at the ith place, and it comes out to be that the formula comes to be I j minus I wn to the power something, comes out to the of that thing. So what happens, that if j and I are not 0, they are not same, then that expression becomes 0. Otherwise the expression becomes when the values are same, they becomes 1. So where the value is same, at the diagonal places. So here the values are 1, otherwise the value is 0. If the multiplication of two matrices is actually identity matrix, by this we get the identity matrix, then we say that they are inverse of each other. So this is the proof of the inverse into the book. So we have just seen that that given this matrix, very easily we can find out that what is the inverse, and using that inverse we can again we can run the same kind of methodology to find out the coefficient into the order of n log n time. Okay, so that's all for today. Thank you for joining. If you have any question, you can ask, please.